Elon Musk indirectly explained why he has been selling Tesla stock recently, and he gives us a hint at the date of when he will possibly stop selling Tesla stock. So let's dive in.
Because of the nature of this transaction, where there's $12.5 billion of debt and the Fed rate has been going crazy, there's on the order of $1.5 billion-ish of debt servicing that's required. So we're talking about like net cash outflow, if you didn't make any changes, of on the order of like $6.5 billion next year.
This is why Elon Musk has been talking about rates. You see, the debt that Twitter has is very large. And I guess it makes sense why Elon blames high interest rates when he talks about Tesla stock. Interest rates are high, therefore Twitter's debt is very hard to service, and therefore he has to sell Tesla stock. It makes more sense when you put it in that context, right?
Revenue probably tracking to 3. So that's like a negative cash flow situation of $3 billion a year. Not good.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. That's just $3 billion. That's just how much Elon sold of Tesla stock recently. A lot of money.
Since Twitter has $1 billion in cash.
Ooh.
So that's why I spent the last 5 weeks cutting costs like crazy.
And selling Tesla stock, of course, right? And we know that Elon Musk really believes there's going to be a very bad recession, so he wants to be on the side of caution. So he probably wants to build up his cash reserves to a point where it's more than really necessary, just in case the recession lasts for a very long time and everything just collapses for multiple years.
I think we also got to get the advertisers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do need to get the advertisers, but like I said, I've spoken to a number of the advertisers. Their requests are not fuzzy or irrational or anything. They're like quite reasonable.
This is very good to hear that Elon is talking to advertisers. Twitter's revenue, that means, would or should get back to higher levels. Definitely a positive overall.
Like, just show us an ROI that makes sense. And I'm like, yes, I agree. If I were in their position, I would also want an ROI that makes sense, especially when headed into difficult economic times, where these questions are asked a lot more than in prosperous times. In prosperous times, there is plenty of budget for advertising, and you can get away with unclear ROI. But when times are tough, then the hard questions of return on investment are asked. And when you do not have a clear answer, then advertisers don't want to advertise because they're being sane.
Very good point here. And speaking of ROI, when I look at Tesla's earnings, I like the earnings. I mostly look at the earnings and I am thinking about what is the price of Tesla stock going to be 10 years from now. And I like what I see because the earnings are going up. Tesla stock price, of course, short term is very volatile, can move up and down a lot. That's just the norm of holding a stock like Tesla.
That's the main issue. So this is important. So now, with the changes that we're making here on massively reducing the burn rate and building subscriber revenue, I now think that Twitter will, in fact, be okay next year.
This is very good news. We want to hear that because Tesla stock has been a piggy bank for Twitter. We don't want that to continue. We want Twitter to be profitable. It's almost like, for Tesla stock, for the price of Tesla stock, short term at least, profitability of Twitter actually matters more than profitability of Tesla. Literally. I mean, Why else would, well, there are many reasons, but why else would Tesla's stock price keep going down while earnings are growing substantially? Many reasons, of course, but you got to ask yourself that question.
I think we will be about hopefully sort of roughly cash flow break even. That's what I expect for next year.
Now, we do have to take into consideration what is known, a phenomena that is known as Elon's time. Full self-driving coming in 2020, 2021, 2022, sometime before 2030, right? So don't get your hopes just up, but it's sounding good.
But this won't be quite. This will be difficult, but I think that's where what will happen. It's roughly cash flow break even, as opposed to minus $3 billion ish, on with $1 billion of cash, which would be therefore dead. So that's the reason for my actions. They may seem sometimes spurious or odd or whatever. It's because this is not, we have an emergency fire drill in our hands. That's the reason. Not because I am like naturally capricious, or at least aspirationally I'm not naturally capricious.
This makes a whole lot of sense. Now, Elon is speaking specifically about Twitter, not about Tesla, but this makes a whole bunch of sense, although some of the political tweets may not be helping Elon overall, but I understand where he's coming from. I personally like tweets where Elon just retweets. For example, he retweeted Twitter files with popcorn emoji, something like that. I really liked that tweet, personally. I like tweets like that instead of tweets like he said prosecute so-and-so. That's quite strong. Now, if you retweet a thread that would imply that's the outcome that should happen, I think that accomplishes the goal still without any of the backlash. And Elon, of course, learns very quickly. And this is what I like about Elon so much. You know, with so many other people, they make mistakes and they never admit that they made the mistake. Elon can change his mind so quickly. He adapts and he can U-turn when you least expect him to do so. This is exactly what has made Elon so successful at Tesla and SpaceX. Those companies are literally going to space. Well, Tesla is going to finance expeditions to Mars and colonizing Mars, as SpaceX will too, but Tesla will be a big part of it. That's when Elon will actually start selling Tesla stock.
So, but if you sort of, if you say you're looking at it from my standpoint and you're saying, okay, wow, this company is like basically you're in a plane that is headed towards the ground at high speed, with the engines on fire and the controls don't work.
Wow.
I used the same analogy at comma.
Yeah. Going downhill, that's not downhill. Whoa, that's mild to say. Going down in an airplane with engines on fire, that's what Twitter is. Let's give Elon a little bit of slack here. Elon is in an extremely tough situation. This, for me personally, long term, this is bullish for Tesla stock. Eventually, I believe Elon will stop selling Tesla stock, but we'll see. Hopefully, Elon's time this time is accurate. I wouldn't keep my hopes high, though, which would present us another buying opportunity. These are 48 reasons why I only hold Tesla stock in my stock portfolio. My name is Matt. Please like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.